Welcome to Appointy Tutorials. In this video we're going to talk about the customer booking rules. So the first tab under the customer booking rules are the booking rules and layout. Now as you can see on my screen, the first option or the first setting that you see is book appointments directly from the site. By default it is selected to yes. What this basically means is the customers can book appointments from the customer interface. If you switch it off, the customers would be able to see the availability and the times, but when they reach the confirmation page, which is the last page to confirm the appointment, instead of confirming the appointment they would see a message that would say that you need to contact the business owner. Hence the customers would not be able to book and they would need to contact the account holder or the business holder or owner and book the appointment from them. The setting below that is who can schedule. Now we have three options over here: prepaying members, phone verified members, and email verified members. Now as of now we don't verify customers by phone, but the emails can be verified as I had shown you in the customers tab. If you go at the top, you see there's a verify button. So going back to the settings, so you can choose email verified members or non-email verified members. As you can see to the right of it, it says by default it does not require approval. What this basically means is when the customer books the appointment's confirmed and the staff and the administrator don't need to confirm the appointment. Now you can change it to say requires approval. What this would do is anybody who books an appointment would then initiate an email that goes out to the staff and the administrator, and they would need to approve that appointment. Now if you scroll down, you see branding. This branding is shown on the customer interface on the bottom of the window that says that the scheduling software is powered by Appointy. Now you can hide this branding from the customer interface. You can also let us know, we can do that for you. Now this is part of the paid plan, so you'll have to move to the enterprise plan to remove the branding. Now you can see that we also have over here the customer booking sequence, which as you can see on my screen is also there under the customer booking flow. So I've already explained that. You can choose either one of those. Then we have tracking code, so you can use Google AdWords to run scripts and then track the traffic coming in from those AdWords. Now we do have the same thing in Marketplace, so I'll explain that when I'm covering the Marketplace. If you scroll further down, you would also see if you want to show the customer's name in the reviews. So what happens is when the customers book an appointment, you need to manually send an email. There's a button on Appointy which you need to click to send an email to the customer so that they can give a review. And if you want, you can show the customer's name on the review that they've given. Now these reviews are going to be shown on the customer booking interface on Appointy, but that can be changed as well. So I will explain that when I am covering the customize email tab, where I can explain, where I will explain how you can customize the emails. Below that you have allow the customers to promote their appointments on social media. What this would do is it would give the button so that the customers can promote it on their Facebook, say hey, I've booked an appointment. We also have a URL of your calendar on your site. So what this would basically do, it will redirect the customers. So what we've done is now we're using Google Tag Manager to do that. So instead of doing it from here, you can do it from the Marketplace, and if you face any issues you can let us know and we'll do that for you. Below that are social channels. Again, those are also in the Marketplace, where you can integrate your Appointy account with your Facebook page, with your Instagram page. So I'll cover those when I'm covering the Marketplace. The next tab is lead and cancellation time. So over here basically what you can do is you can control when the customers can book, when can they cancel, when can they reschedule. These are pretty self-explanatory. The first one is minimum advance notice required to book. The minimum is you can put in 1 minute. You can also choose hours and days. What this would do is if you choose it or change it to 1 hour, customers would be able to book an appointment 1 hour from right now. So whenever they're trying to book an appointment at that point in time, they can book an appointment after an hour. You can change that. So if you if you want to have more notice period, like you want the customers to book at least 6 hours in advance so that you can prepare, or a day in advance, you can do that from here. The next one is minimum notice required for cancelling an appointment. Again, the same thing. You can set the rules so that they can cancel the appointment. You can set how many hours or days prior to the appointment can they cancel. So you've got hours over here, and you can change it. Like you can put in hours over here. So the maximum that you can put over here in hours is 999. Right, so you can put in like a week or so advance notice before the customer can cancel. The same goes for rescheduling. Again, we have it in hours, and the maximum that you can put over here is 999. Now, how many days in advance can they book? What this basically means is the future booking, how many days in advance do you want to show the availability? So I have set it to 180, which is like 6 months, so they can book an appointment 6 months ahead of today. So you can change that to, again, 999. That's approximately more than 2 years. So again, minimum time interval required between appointments. So what this basically does is, if I am booking an appointment today at, let's say, 9 a.m. and I book another appointment at 10 a.m. and you don't want a customer to be able to do that, you can then set hours or days. So what this would do is, when they're booking an appointment, the system is going to calculate that their past appointment, the one that they just booked, and it's going to say, hey, you can't book an appointment within 4 hours because the administrator has set the minimum requirement to 1 day. So they can book an appointment today, and the next appointment has to be for tomorrow. So if in scenarios where you want customers to be able to book appointments 1 day apart, or 2 day apart, or 3 hours apart, this is where you can do that. Then we have set time interval for administrator's calendar. What this basically means is, on the calendar, as you can see, I have 30-minute slots over here. Now this can also be changed from settings. Okay, and as you can see, I have put in 30 minutes over there and 30 minutes over here, so I can change it to 5, 10, 15. This basically divides the administrative interface. It would not reflect or change anything on the customer interface. The next tab is the payment rules. So basically, you can take payments through Appointy. We don't directly take payments, we integrate with payment gateways. We redirect customers to those payment gateways, and they can put in their credit card credentials and pay for the services. Now, when you enable the prepayment option, you can have a choice between these three. So you can either charge them the full service amount, so whatever service cost you're putting in, the system charges them the entire amount. You can charge them a certain booking fee. So if in a scenario where you want to have a booking fees or some kind of an advance, you can put in a certain amount over here, like $5, $10, $20. Irrespective of the service cost, the system is going to ask them to pay only the fixed amount that you set. The rest of the amount, the administrator or the business owner will have to take when the customer comes in person. So in scenarios where you have online classes or online appointments, it's best that you choose the full service amount, because the customer is not coming in person. Like in a salon, he has to come in person, and that's when you will ask him to pay. The same thing cannot be done for an online teaching class. So if you want, you can charge the full service amount. We also have charge a certain percentage, so you can say, hey, I want to charge 50% up front and 50% when the customer comes in for the appointment. Again, the 50% is going to be charged through Appointy. The rest of the 50% you'll have to do on your own. You can also add tax, so you can add multiple taxes over here. So you can put in a name for the tax, let's say tax 2, and then you choose or decide the percentage of the tax. So let's say if the service cost is $100, there are two separate taxes. So in total the customer would be paying 35% more, so the entire amount is going to be $135. Now you can remove the taxes if you want to, or you can add as many as you like. And now the taxes at this point in time are not service based, so you cannot have certain services that have different tax amounts. The workaround for that would be to add the tax in the service cost and have it, when you're creating the service, have a total amount over there. The next tab is booking restrictions. So the first setting over here is geographical restrictions. If you change it to yes, what this basically would do is customers from different time zones would be able to book appointments. Then within this setting you have detect customers time zone automatically and show your availability accordingly. What this basically would do is, let's say for example the business and the business owner is in the Eastern Standard Time Zone and the customer is in Mountain or Pacific. The system would automatically detect the device from which they are booking the appointment and pick up the time zone that's set on the device. Now let's say the customer is using a laptop and the setting time, the device time is Pacific time zone. So the system would automatically calculate and deduct or add those 3 or 4 hours, that's the time difference. And depending on which time zone they are booking, the customer's availability, the staff member's availability would change. The one below that is booking limits per customer. So basically you can limit the amount of bookings a customer can make. By default it is unlimited, but we also have either not allowed, which means none of the customers are going to be able to book. Then we have a custom setting, so you can set a number of booking, let's say 1, 5, 10, and then you can set the frequency. So let's say for example you want your customers to be able to book only 4 appointments a week, not more than that. So you can set the frequency weekly, number of bookings 4, and you can also choose where or which day would be the starting day of the week. It could be a Sunday, it could be a Monday. If you're doing Wednesday to Wednesday, you can choose any day if you like. You also can set a date limit. So let's say for example from the 1st of January 2021 till July of January 2021, you want to set this limit. After that you don't want to have a limit, so you can set a limit on the date as well. Once you've made the changes, click on save and those changes would be saved. Now below that we have domain restrictions. What this basically does is, let's say for example there is someone who is trying to book fake appointments and that's hampering your business, and let's say for example they are using yahoo.com email. So you want to block anybody who's using @yahoo.com and in their email to not be able to book an appointment. So what you can do over here is you can type in their email. Now in this scenario we've taken Appointy's example, so you just put in xyz@appointy.com. What this would do is basically it would stop anybody who's using an Appointy email @appointy.com to be able to book. So they would not be able to book at all. By default it's left blank, and you can leave it blank. Now if you know that this customer is booking that, you can go to the customer tab as well, and we have updated restrictions over here. So you can say, hey, this customer is not allowed to book at all. So you can do that from here as well. So those are the 2 places where you can do this. That's it for this video. We'll cover advanced booking options, notification settings and booking policies in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.